Welcome to another episode of the Cat Breeding for Beginners podcast. I'm Pamela and I breed British Shorthairs in Perth, Western Australia. I have a real passion for cat breeding and exhibiting, and I want to share my knowledge and experience with you. I'm on a mission to help new cat breeders go from feeling intimidated, confused and having trouble getting started to confidently breeding happy and healthy cats whilst enjoying this amazing hobby. Before we get started, make sure you visit my website and download your copy of my helpful guide, Advice to New Breeders, where experienced breeders share some great tips they wish someone told them when they started breeding. You can find the link on my homepage at www.catbreedingforbeginners.com. Just look for the picture of Angelica with her kittens. I want to talk to you today about something that I see happening with new cat breeders, and I'm sure I did it back when I first started, but it's something that I've gotten past and moved on from, and I think that it's important to have a conversation about it because if you're a new cat breeder, you are probably doing exactly this, and it is catastrophizing things. And what I mean by that is that, when things are happening and situations are happening, you always think of the worst case scenario and you're always thinking, what could go wrong? This is the worst thing in the world. The world's ending because of this problem that I'm going through. And I was recently talking to a new breeder in my new cat breeders club, and she'd messaged me about an issue that she was having with one of her cats and what she could do about it, and was getting very stressed about it. It was really worrying her, and she had a problem with kittens in the previous year, and so this was stressing her out even more. And so I told her, oh no, it's okay, you just do this, you do that, and you do this. And then you can do this, and that will help you with that. And she came back and said to me, wow, you are so calm about this. And I thought about that, and I thought, yeah, I am now. And I told her, I said, no, I'm not calm. I'm actually, it's experience. It all comes down to experience, because back when I first started breeding, trust me, I wasn't calm. And so the thing about it is you will go on to become a little bit more like me, where things become, instead of being the end of the world, they just become a bump in the road. They're still the same thing. It's still the same situation. It's just your perspective of it based on the experience that you have. So I thought what would be a good thing to talk about would be probably my worst actual catastrophe, because that's about as bad as it can get. There's been a few over the years, but this is probably the most recent one. And what happened was I had 5 girls all pregnant at the same time and all had their kittens around the same time. So they were all, I thought it would be nice to have them all in together and they could all be company for each other, which worked well. It was working really well. And then one of my friends who I help out with matings and things, she had a problem with one of her cats. It wasn't feeding the kittens that were born, and she'd already lost one and was really scared about losing the others. And she had to, she was about to start a week of shifts and she couldn't actually feed the kittens herself. So that was a big deal. So she said, do you have any girls that could feed the kittens for me? And I was like, yep, 100%. Bring them over. All good. And we split the kittens into 2 and put some with one girl and some with another girl. And one girl, because just based on what kittens that they had. Everything was fine. Everything was perfect. Going along nicely. And then one of the other litters came down with cat flu, feline herpes virus. And it snowballed. I tried to contain it. I moved them into another area. I kept everything separate, but they just, one by one, each litter got it. And of course that meant not only did my cats get it and my kittens get it. My cats were fine, sorry, just the kittens. So my kittens, I had kittens that had full thickness eye ulcers. They were completely blocked noses. They were mouth breathing. They had eyes that were completely stuck shut together. Some of the kittens would get sick for a day and then be okay. Others were still sick after 2 weeks and really sick. We were having to do vet visits very regularly. We had to get the ulcers had to be scraped. There was lots of medication, lots of dosing everybody. So this went on for a bit, but the worst thing was that, that was terrible. That was already a catastrophe. My friend's kittens got sick too. So she brought these little beautiful babies over to me and my girls to try and save them, and all we did was make them sick. And it turned out that her kittens probably got the worst of it. So her kittens, actually, one of them got an eye ulcer so bad that he had to have his eye removed. And so this was, she had actually taken the kittens back at that point, which was, what was always the plan. But his ulcer just wasn't resolving, so she actually had to have the eye removed. So you can imagine that was a huge vet bill for her, and basically because she trusted me with these kittens. So you can imagine all of that sounds like a horrific catastrophe. But here's the outcome. The outcome is all my kittens got better. All of them got better. One of them still had an ongoing yucky looking eye, but it was only yucky looking. It wasn't yucky, as in it had nothing actually wrong with it. It's just cosmetic. It had an extra bit of membrane looking on it. That kitten grew up. I kept her till she was an adult. She now lives in an amazing pet home. She is so well cared for. She lives with one of my other kittens. Cat's now grown up, and her owners absolutely love her. So the outcome there was fantastic. Then we fast forward to every other kitten. They all went to their new homes. I told their owners what had happened, and none of them have had any recurrence or any problems ongoing. The little boy that lost his eye, he went to go live with a lovely family as well. They were people that had previously had a cat from my friend, so that was fantastic too. And guess what? My friend's still talking to me. We're still really good friends. She just said, this is what happens. There's no blame. There's no problem. She said, you saved them. So if they got sick because you had to save, if they had to get sick to be saved, then it was fine. And ongoing, they're all doing great. So the end of the end result of it was not a catastrophe. Going through it was horrific. But I want you to know that the thing about cat breeding is these things will happen, especially with things like viral things like herpes virus and calicivirus and things like that. We do get really upset about stuff like that, but they're just viruses. Viruses are something that you catch. We don't shame people for when their kids catch a virus at daycare or when people get coronavirus, but we get really upset and uptight about our cats getting it. The thing to do is to just work through it. Just work through it and you'll get to the other side, and I promise you everything will be fine. So yes, I am quite calm about stuff like that now. I wasn't calm about it before, but if you're a new cat breeder, I promise you, you'll be calm about it in the future as well. Okay, bye for now. Thanks for listening. Make sure you visit www.catbreedingforbeginners.com where you can find articles, guides, courses and more. Plus, make sure you check out my amazing New Cat Breeders Club. It's a supportive space where new cat breeders can learn, share and help each other. I only take new members a few times a year, so sign up to make sure you don't miss out.